Hello, you've reached Christian-Apologist.com, and this is S.J. Thomason. And today I'm going to follow up on questions that I've recently asked atheists with more questions. I have 5 additional questions. The first question is a little long, so hang on for a second and let me explain. Despite the culture or era, sane humans have the innate sense of what's right and what's wrong, and we prefer to do what's right to help our fellow humans. No matter the major religion, we are all aware of the golden rule. We prefer the humble over the braggarts, the selfless over the selfish, and the truthful over the liars. Cross-cultural scholars, such as Gert Hofstede, Fons Trompenaars, Robert House, and Shalom Schwartz, have found that societies vary in ways inconsistent with our innate morality. For example, not all societies are considered collective or cooperative. Collective societies are in Asia, Northern Europe, the Arab region, Africa, and South America. Highly individualistic societies are in Western Europe, the United States, and Canada. Many societies in the world are hedonistic, hierarchical, and have preferences against gender egalitarianism. So, what we ought to do is often inconsistent with what we are doing. How do we know what we ought to do? How do we know it's right to help the needy, feed the poor, and act in a cooperative way? Evolutionary biologists have made observations to show that cooperative societies were better poised for survival, and over thousands of years in the distant past, groups have fared better than individuals. Yet even in historical times, we have examples of highly individualist and highly successful societies, such as those in ancient Greece and Rome. Cooperative societies over the past couple of thousand years have not necessarily been better positioned for survival, because it has been shown that individualism is more beneficial in some ways. For example, a multitude of global studies have correlated gross domestic product with individualism. Individualism also corresponds with capitalism, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So why do even individualists know that we ought to help the weak, feed the poor, and be honest, just, empathetic, and loving? Why is it that all societies, regardless of their practices, know what we ought to do? Where do we get this moral compass? 2, what accounts for the empty tomb and the resurrection appearances of Jesus? Roman pagans, Jews, and Christians in Jesus' time have all indicated that Jesus' empty tomb was found by second-class women. In fact, Paul stated that 500 people witnessed Jesus over the next 40 days after he rose from the dead. Many biblical and extra-biblical sources have indicated that early Christians preached illegally for the first few hundred years in support of Jesus. They preached for decades, braving beatings, stoning, crucifixion, beheadings, and some were burned to death. 3, if an atheist's position is that the universe is the product of chance and necessity instead of the product of intelligence, how can he or she explain the fact that the universe is structured rationally, logically, and with mathematical precision and predictability? Pope Benedict XVI said, "If nature is really structured with a mathematical language, and mathematics invented by man can manage to understand it, this demonstrates something extraordinary. The objective structure of the universe and the intellectual structure of the human being coincide." 4, if atheists adhere to the belief that the purpose of human life is merely to procreate and survive, is it possible to determine that human life has any more value than animal life, since animals share the same basic purpose? 5, why have so many atheists determined that the life of a fetus in the mother's womb is less valuable than the life of his or her mother? What standard do they use to value human life? Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact you stopped by. If you'd like to read more from what I've written or see more videos, you can stay on this channel. Please subscribe. If you'd like to read some of my blogs, please go to Christian-Apologist.com. Goodbye.